Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law. Through this channel I'll be providing some stock analysis and a quick update on the $1 Million Challenge. So if anybody's not aware of this is a journey of an investment of $1,000 to a return of $1 million over a period of 3 years using a strategy called compound return investing. So the objective is try to get 201 trades, each with an average return of 3.5%. It's not 201 consecutive trades. We do take into account losses. So further details about how to join us for less than $9 a month, information is available in the description below. In today's video, we're going to be doing some important updates for MMTLP. As well as that, we're going to be looking at some positive developments for ABML, also known as ABTC. So stay tuned for that. So before we make a start, let's have a look at what's happening in the market. So headline here from Bloomberg, stocks dragged down by techs as yields stay higher. So the 10-year treasury yield has topped the closely watched 4% level. So overall sentiment is still a little bit hawkish. But if we have a look at the heat map here, almost all sectors, including technology, communication, financial, are down. However, energy is beating this trend and is green, as well as basic materials. The first shout out here is to Gandalf, who's tagged in Suzanne with regard to an interesting post in how to end phantom shares. So let's see what Suzanne has stated. And number one, she said here is fine dollars plus margins for fail to delivers. Also looking at no waivers at NSCCs. Number two, mandatory buy-in. Number three, if buy-in fails, raise offer dollars until it closes. Number four, suspend and close accounts of brokers who fail to deliver in greater than 3x 3 times a month, and the SEC and Exchange Act 1934 to be implemented. So again, a great post here, but if we follow on in the similar theme, shout out here to Roger, who's also tackling the issue of naked shorts, and this is something for everybody to tune in on Thursday 12:30 p.m. Eastern time. On the round table we're going to have Wes Christian, so hopefully some great insights from him, as well as that the CEOs from CLNV, COSM, GNS, and we're also going to have John Berder for MMTLP, so hopefully this will be a great show. The next shout out here is to Rare DD, who's come up with interesting questions used on ChatGPT. So let's have a look at the first question, and that is FINRA being investigated for the U3 halt of MMTLP? So according to ChatGPT, the answer is yes, FINRA is being investigated by the SEC for its handling of the U3 halt of MMTLP, and the investigation is ongoing. So as far as I'm concerned, this answer is can be true. It can be possible, because the SEC could be carrying out an investigation, and obviously they are not going to obviously openly declare that, and after this investigation is done behind the scenes, possibly there may be some announcements. So one of the reasons why we could say that there is no announcements or comments if this could be if this investigation is happening, so they don't want to comment. So the second question here from Rare DD is, why is FINRA under investigation? So obviously we know there's multiple regulatory violations confirmed here by ChatGPT, and these include failing to properly oversee broker-dealers, lack of proper supervision of trading activities, and failure to enforce rules requiring brokers to act in their clients' best interests. So one of the things that I have personally have a concern about with regard to FINRA is that they are funded by the brokers and dealers, so that represents a conflict of interest. I think that has to change, and that is something that is certainly not good for the markets. So question 3 here, which entities are currently investigating the U3 halt of MMTLP? So we know, as well as the SEC, other organizations have been approached. So according to ChatGPT, we're looking at the Department of Justice, the Federal Trade Commission, the SEC that we know about are all investigating the U3 halt of MMTLP. As well as that, we know that there are also some legal actions taking place, and the final shout out here is final question here is, why hasn't FINRA or the SEC publicly addressed the MMTLP U3 halt? So we know FINRA are not commenting, we know SEC are not commenting, so the question here is why. So according to ChatGPT, the SEC and FINRA have not publicly addressed the U3 halt because it is an ongoing investigation. It's impossible to determine the outcome of the investigation until it has concluded. So in all criminal matters, when somebody under investigation, they do not comment, as this can compromise the case. So certainly this is a realistic explanation of why the SEC and FINRA are quiet. Let's now have a look at the latest developments for ABML, also known as ABTC. So from the website here, we can see a headline: one of the largest lithium deposits in the US identified at ABTC Tonopah Flats lithium project. So this is outstanding news. So this was released yesterday, and it also states here third-party audited analyst estimates inferred resources of 15.8 million tons of lithium carbonate or equivalent. So this was huge news. So let's have a look at what Ryan Meltzer was quoted as saying, and he stated here: we initially drilled down to 500 feet and we were still seeing significant lithium concentrations, so we went down to 750 feet, 850 feet, and still have not found the bottom of this of the resource. So this is outstanding news. So let's have a look at details about the project. So this is the Tonopah Flats lithium project. So this is something also we can now confirm as the largest known inferred lithium claystone resource deposit in the United States. It's located in Nevada, and ABTC has concluded that geological mapping, sampling, drilling, analysis to characterize these resources and quantify the lithium extraction and manufacturing operations is obviously there for the potential, and the solution, in contrast to conventional lithium extraction methods, is also something they are working on. So let's have a look at the key highlights. So here, in terms of the news, we can see that this is now one of the United States' largest known lithium deposits. The company we know is co-funded by 2 Department of Energy grants. In terms of the low-risk mining jurisdiction, this is also with support of local government and infrastructure. Overall, the low cost impacts process to yield battery-grade lithium hydroxide is there as a potential as well. The company is advancing towards commercialization. We know the actual factory is almost ready to start operating. And finally, they're looking at providing a secure domestic supply of lithium critical to enabling the path for electrification. So in terms of the reaction to the chart yesterday, I think at one time it was up very close to 40% with a significant upside, and I think currently it's trading around about 80 cents. There has been a little bit of a sell-off today, but this news for the long term is huge. Let's now have a look at a recent article with regard to the demand for lithium and battery metals. So headline here from Yahoo Finance dated February the 24th, 2023. And we can see here it states that Tesla, GM are amongst the car makers flocking to mining events amid battery metals scramble. So there's going to be a huge demand for these battery metals. Let's have a look at a chart from Bloomberg looking at the exponential demand and growth. The lithium needed for car batteries is surging as EV adoption picks up. So we can see again huge exponential growth in the chart there. And finally, according to Bloomberg, it states here top automakers including Tesla, GM and Ford are heading to this conference and looking at soaring demand for metals used in electric vehicle supplies. So this obviously puts ABML in prime position. I finally like to finish off by giving a quick reminder in terms of 2 of the stocks that we called out in our weekly watch list. These include ticker symbol TRKA. This was featured in the previous video and a number of also previous videos, and we know that this is up today in excess of 17%, and it's been making some tremendous gains as a potential squeeze stock. We also called out LHDX, and if we have a look at the chart for that, that over the previous 5 days is up in excess of 429% right now. There is a bit of a sell-off today, and at one point it was up well in excess of 500%. So congratulations to everybody got into LHDX. And finally, thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.